I think we all know what this looks like, where this came from. And the answer is yes, it's all true. Well, let's get on to the video. Okay, I got a little frog in my throat today. And it's not any sickness, it's just, there's definitely like a small little pin that's definitely grinding against my throat, and it sucks. Ugh. Looks like this must be the curse of DK Diamantes on me, for me making a video utilizing Stalker's little sister, color palette, and style for my Nova Prime. Which is why, before we begin, I just want to state that I was inspired by DK Diamantes' Stalker's little sister, and I just copied the color palette to the best of my abilities. But please note that he has full respect for the color palette, and it's just a really good color palette. I think we can all agree that it's just a really good color palette that really makes Nova Prime look very good, and that's pretty much it. But yeah, but besides that, I did add a little bit of my own little spin on things to make it look, not fully like, a copy or anything. But you gotta admit, I do like the black with the red accent. Really just looks very, very well. Let's begin with Nova's abilities. So, Nova's ability, passive. When knocked over, 60 minutes defense that toss up an attacker, he eliminates and deals 200 damage. So, if Nova ever gets knocked over, it helps. So, here we begin. Step 1, we have Null Stars, which create a small energy that gives 5% damage reduction to Nova's health and shockwave, and 90%. Radius and damage. Then we have Orb, which is just an orb that has a heat-seeking thing, or you can blast at it. And then we have the Warp Gate, and then finally we have slowing down time. And that's pretty much it. So, for Nova's build, as always, I always keep my frames nice and balanced. Don't really show favoritism to a specific ability, making sure everything's nice and balanced and very helpful and easy for a player to acquire. So yeah, looks very good. On to Nova's weapons. So instead of using Stalker's weapons, I actually went for the Molecular and Ocular. For the Ocular, I just went with a heavy amount of crit as well as increased rate of fire to help out with damage. So yeah, I just mostly went with high crit damage, and you can improve upon this by adding more crit mods or different mods that can help out. And finally, we have the Miso. The Miso I was inspired by when it came to that 100 Days Played in Warframe by Mashed, and I thought, you know what, actually that's a much better weapon than the War, and here is why. So you have all four statuses, crit and high speed, creating a flush, high damage weapon. So I have 1 crit weapon and 2 status weapons. Perfect for Nova Prime. Anyway, back to the Oculus. So the Oculus again, it's all status damage. Pretty good. And then you got the Ravenous. So yeah. Alright. So let's go take Nova Prime out and let's go have some fun. Now, in regards to what type Nova is when it comes to battles, a very good frame is, I would say Nova is definitely a balanced type frame, which is really good when it comes to different types of battles. So with Nova's sword ability, by stopping time, actually mostly slowing down the enemy, and with the fast melee, I can take out multiple targets and spread the explosion across the map, making it extremely easy. Another thing about getting across is, with the third ability, is a Warp Gate, allowing Nova to warp, as well as allies can use it, making it farther to travel across the map, which is great for open worlds. First ability are these little orbs that provide some additional protection, but also increase in damage, which is very nice and very helpful for survival when it comes to Nova. So then you have the orb. As you can see there, the orb was launched, but I can also... I thought you could shoot it for some reason. Oh well. So So the orb has nothing like a heat sinking or anything, so you just deploy it and let it do its thing. This is great for when it comes to like a large mass of enemies coming out to a specific area. So if you got some enemies coming on the left, you can deploy the orb over there and you can deal with the enemies. Now then, on to the weaponry. So for the Braco, after doing 3 kills, you can have a charge shot. So now you have 2. And that's 3. Now I have a charge shot. Charge shot deals heavy damage and it's perfect. By the way, this is a full auto gun, which is why I strongly recommend having a much faster rate of fire mod to help with damage output. Now then, as for the secondary, it's a focused beam weapon, but it can also toggle itself to the next target.
For the Tenno.
And since it has all 3 status mods, it could break through an enemy's armor, shield, and health like it's nothing. Just look at that damage. It just burns them away. See what I mean? I'm focusing on one target, but it's also focusing on other targets. This one makes it very helpful in battle. Making it extremely useful and effective. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, if you use the orb, I mean the slowing down time, plus the damage breaker, you can create a long distance type engagement. So yeah, I would say Nova Prime is definitely a great Warframe. If you haven't gotten it already, I would strongly recommend you pick one up. Very helpful for different engagements, as well as for boss fights and just extermination missions. Prime for anyone who's trying to find something unique or something a different Warframe to try out. This has concluded Nova Prime's build / loadout. Now, if you excuse me, I need to go get some water because my throat is dry. Well, anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you would, please leave a like, subscribe, and most importantly, have a nice day.